Hello everyone, welcome back to It's Not Just Cramps by Clara. Today I want to talk about everything you need to know about endometriosis, what it is, what does stage 4 mean, is there a cure? So endometriosis, aka endo, is a condition where tissue similar to the lining of the uterus grows outside of the uterus. What happens is, instead of having a simple bleed where your uterus shed and you bleed through your vagina, this tissue simply decides to go on a nice trip, and it can go wherever it wants. It can go to the bowel, bladder, liver, anywhere. Nobody knows how it gets there. There is no rule, there is nothing specific that tells you how did that tissue got to where it is now. Some people think that we're born with it, some people think that we just back bleed through the fallopian tubes and it's spilled, but there is no known thing. We just know that at some point it started to grow where it's not supposed to be growing. It grows on ovaries, fallopian tubes, bladder, bowel, diaphragm, you name it. There is nowhere where it doesn't grow. It's been found everywhere, on lungs, heart, brain, spine. And every month it reacts to hormones by bleeding internally. And since there is nowhere for that blood to go, it causes inflammation, pain, and scar tissue. Those are my three best friends, basically. So endometriosis has 4 stages, and the higher the number, the worse the situation is. It doesn't mean that the worse the pain is, it just means that the worse the situation is. So we have stage 1, so you got a little bit of endo, probably chilling on your ovaries. So you have stage 2, you have a little bit more endo spread and maybe the beginning of scar tissue with nearby organs and parts. You have then stage 3. So that is when endo starts to be really mean. So adhesions, more damage, things are really sticking together and things are where they're not supposed to be. The situation starts to get really complicated from here thereafter. And then you have stage 4. I can simply describe it as pure chaos. Everything is stuck together. Nothing is where it's supposed to be. Stage 4, that is simply chaos. If you're like me, I feel really sorry for you. It's the worst level of endometriosis, where the adhesions are everywhere, all the organs are affected, they all stuck somehow to each other. The anatomy of the reproductive system is completely compromised. So the ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus itself, nothing is where it's supposed to be. But the fun thing is, sometimes you can have stage 4 and not know that you have endo. You can get to stage 4 and think that you're completely normal, or you can have stage 1 and feel destroyed. So the staging does not describe your pain, the pain that you feel. It simply describes how much endo is actually growing. If we have to talk about symptoms of endometriosis, there is too many, so many, and they are absolute chaos. For me personally, I struggled with all of them, and most of the time, all of them at the same time. But we're talking about period pain that feels like being punched and pulled from the inside, pain during or after intercourse, pain when pooping, peeing, or simply existing. Fatigue, like I am tired to just sit here, or I'm just exhausted of being alive. Bloating that you could go from being normal to 7 months pregnant within a day. Infertility. Yeah, that is one of the worst symptoms of endometriosis, is because there is a distortion of the anatomy, inflammation, all kind of things. It does cause infertility. That's how certain women that have stage 4 find out they have endo, when they get fertility treatment. And then my favorite symptom is being told by GP, doctors, hospitals, is just cramps. And the pain is not a pain that you take an ibuprofen and carry on situation. It's I curl into a ball and question my existence situation. The diagnosis has been the hardest thing I had to fight for in my life so far. Diagnosis is the journey where you will lose your mind, your patient, and possibly, because it takes a couple of years, your will to live. Hopefully not, but it makes you question life. Endometriosis cannot be diagnosed with a blood test or ultrasound alone or an MRI. You need a laparoscopy, which is a small keyhole surgery where they literally go inside and look around. On average, it can take 7 to 10 years to diagnose endometriosis. So if it's taken a while, it's not you, it's the system, which is, let's be honest, quite trash. So, is there a cure for endometriosis? Short answer, no. Long answer, well, still no, but there are treatments that might help. There are hormonal treatment, like the pill, sometimes helpful, sometimes chaos. Painkillers, sometimes barely touch the pain, but it all depends on how bad it affects you. Surgery, laparoscopy with excision surgery, can remove some of the tissue, some of the adhesions, and make you feel a bit better. Diet and lifestyle changes, for some people that helps plenty. And then you have hysterectomy, not a cure and often misunderstood. I don't want to ever get to the point to consider a hysterectomy, because all the women I know had an hysterectomy and are still in pain. So that is not anything that I will consider to do. Is a trial and error kind of situation. You will try certain vitamins, they either work or don't. You will try contraceptive, you can feel good or you can feel crap. And based on how you feel, you either carry on with it or change it. I've stayed on the combined pill for nearly 10 years. I was kind of okay. Felt like my hormones were a bit up and down, so decided to stop it. Didn't know I had endo, got worse, been placed on the progesterone pill only, and still getting worse. But I just decided that I'm fed up. So I've stopped everything at the moment. I'm waiting for my next surgery. Something that I personally found that helped me loads, following an anti-inflammatory diet, and I am taking all kind of vitamins. Vitamins are supplements. So I'm taking omega-3, vitamin B12, vitamin D, vitamin C, iron, magnesium, turmeric, and just in case I forgot something, a general woman multivitaminic. So I take nearly all of them in the morning, except for iron and magnesium. Iron, I will be taking it in the afternoon, and then magnesium just before sleep. And I have to say, this past 2 weeks, my fatigue symptoms have felt less draining. I'm doing a teeny tiny bit better. It's all a trial and error. You kind of became your own little experiment, and you're going to keep trying until you find something that will keep you together for a while. Living with endometriosis, and affects everything, your job, your relationships, your confidence. You end up cancelling plans, you feel guilty constantly, you doubt your own body, you became a professional at pretending to be fine, because that is what society wants from us. You need to put makeup on and you need to look healthy and strong, even though you're weak and you're tired of fighting. It's just exhausting. And if you're dealing with any of this, you are an endo warrior, bloated, hormonal, exhausted warrior. And I notice you in the same way that other women notice other women with endometriosis. If you find any support group, or if you need any support, there is loads of Facebook pages that you can ask questions or talk to, or simply follow up to see other stories and other women's situations. Endo is hard. Endo, it's invisible. And endo, it's ignored. But I'm done being quiet. I'm done dealing with it and, feeling guilty for calling in sick or pushing myself to the point of passing out. I'm done with it. That's why I started It's Not Just Cramps, to share the truth with some sarcasm, a lot of tears. And if you're still waiting for answers, or you just need someone to say, no, it's not just cramps, this one's for you. Keep fighting, keep asking questions, keep going, keep owning your story. And remember, your pain is real and you deserve care. And then just to finish it up, if this video helped, hit the like button, subscribe for more real talk, and drop a comment with your experience. We're building a space here where we can share and talk about our chronic pain with compassion. There is going to be no dismissal. Thanks for watching. It's Not Just Cramps, and I'll see you in the next video.